Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely unpack an ancient text to discover what is honestly a timeless and deeply supportive mentor's playbook for new leaders stepping into massive shoes. We'll be looking specifically at the first chapter of the book of Joshua. Look, whether you're stepping up to be a new CEO, leading a huge reorganization, or, just taking over a team from a really beloved manager, the psychological and logistical challenges you face, they are entirely universal. So today, we are going to break down exactly how a legendary transition actually happens, moving all the way from internal panic to total team alignment. Let's get into it.
We start with a stark, absolutely zero onboarding reality check. Just notice the bluntness of this quote. The legendary leader, Moses, the founder, the absolute icon, is suddenly gone. Boom. There's no 6-month transition period, no graceful, slow handover. The terrifyingly huge job now entirely belongs to the protege, Joshua. It is the ultimate you're up moment, and it comes with an incredibly intense weight of expectation.
Okay, so here's our step-by-step agenda for unpacking this transition. First, stepping into big shoes. Second, building inner confidence. Third, sticking to core principles. Fourth, organizing team logistics. And finally, securing full team buy-in.
Section 1. Stepping into big shoes. The Moses is dead moment.
The first phase of our playbook acknowledges the sheer, intimidating scale of the expectations that are suddenly dropped right into the new leader's lap. Joshua isn't just taking over a fancy title. He's tasked with executing the final, arguably most difficult phase of a generational vision. The source material lays out an absolutely massive geographic scope to conquer. We're talking from Arabia in the south all the way to Lebanon in the north, over to the Euphrates and stretching to the Mediterranean Sea. It just brilliantly proves that big promotions often come with monumental, completely overwhelming goals. If you've ever been handed a new corporate territory or some massive sales quota, you know exactly what this feels like. It is a vast, hostile, complex map, and Joshua is now solely responsible for conquering it.
Section 2. Building inner confidence. The mentor's repetition.
Before even touching on logistics, the mentor, in this case, the divine, recognizes that the protege needs an immediate, comforting boost to fight off imposter syndrome. You cannot conquer a map that large if your internal map is just riddled with fear, right? So he delivers this endearing yet firmly commanding instruction: be strong and confident and courageous. But it doesn't stop with just some empty platitude. The mentor promises unfailing presence and support. He assures Joshua that just as he was present with the iconic predecessor, Moses, he absolutely will not fail or abandon him. That deep assurance of backing, that's the very foundation of new confidence.
And then, the text brilliantly repeats it. Notice the addition of the word very here. This emphasizes that inner fortitude isn't just some one-time achievement. It's a continuous, active practice. Imposter syndrome doesn't just permanently disappear after one good pep talk. It always tries to creep back in. So the mentor actively reinforces the mindset.
A third time. The mentor hammers this home a third time. It creates this beautiful rhythm of reassurance, completely designed to anchor the new leader before the real work actually begins. Do not be terrified or dismayed. The text openly acknowledges that terror and intimidation are the natural, default human reactions to taking on massive new responsibilities. The mentor is intentionally overriding Joshua's nervous system with courage.
Section 3. Sticking to core principles. The operating system.
With courage firmly established, the mentor lovingly hands over the foundational operating system. You've got the mindset, but now you actually need the mechanics. By instructing Joshua to constantly keep the book of the law in his mouth, literally to meditate on it day and night, the text shows us that successful leaders don't just wing it. They obsessively adhere to their core principles. Think of this as your corporate constitution, your core values, your standard operating procedures. The mentor tells Joshua not to turn to the right or to the left from it, because precision execution of core principles is what actually generates prosperity and success, not erratic, emotionally driven decisions.
There's a really crucial pivot happening right here. It's the transition from the inner game to the outer game. You absolutely have to master that inner game, managing your mind, absorbing the operating system, and finding your courage before you can effectively execute the outer game of team logistics. You simply must conquer your own internal doubts before you can start directing everyone else outward.
Section 4. Organizing team logistics. Moving to action.
Armed with real courage and his operating system, Joshua immediately steps up to his officers. He translates his newly fortified inner confidence into decisive, time-bound action. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't call for a month of exploratory committees. He just moves. He establishes a concrete, high-stakes deadline, a mere 3 days to get ready. When you take over a massive new initiative, setting an immediate, short-term, achievable deadline galvanizes a team. It literally snaps everyone out of the mourning period for the old leader and forces them to focus entirely on the immediate future.
Within those 3 days, Joshua gives his team 3 crystal-clear sequential operational directives to launch their massive new initiative. First, prepare provisions. Get your logistics in order. Second, cross the River Jordan. Take that definitive, irreversible step into the new territory. And third, take possession of the land. Execute the ultimate goal. It is beautifully simple, stripping away absolutely all confusion.
Section 5. Securing full team buy-in. Managing complex segments.
A great leader knows their team is never just a monolith. Joshua specifically addresses the Reubenites, Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. Now, these groups already had their land settled on the current side of the river. They were comfortable. They essentially already had their bonuses in their territory. So why should they risk their lives to cross the river and help the rest of the organization achieve its goals? Well, Joshua crafts a brilliant tactical compromise. The vulnerable dependents and assets can stay behind in safety, but the brave warriors must go forward, armed for battle, to help the larger group. Only when their brothers conquer and find peace can these warriors return. Joshua reminds them that the old leader, Moses, commanded this, effectively leveraging past agreements to secure future cooperation.
So the crucial takeaway here is that by balancing strong inner principles with clear logistical planning and empathetic but firm management of a really complex segment, Joshua secures absolute, unwavering loyalty from his team. They look at this newly promoted leader who is operating with total clarity and confidence, and they fully commit. They tell him, "All that you have commanded us, we will do, and wherever you send us, we will go." The team even promises strict accountability for their own ranks, stating that rebels will face the ultimate consequence. But look at the end of that statement. This is amazing. The team echoes the mentor's endearing refrain right back to their new leader. Only be strong and courageous. When you lead with that kind of clarity and conviction, your team won't just follow you. They will actually support and encourage you, feeding all that confidence right back into you.
We've seen the entire playbook unfold today. From paralyzing intimidation to internal courage to core principles, swift logistics, and finally, unified buy-in. Whether you're stepping into a massive corporate promotion, taking over a family business, or launching a startup, ask yourself, have you done the internal work? Have you conquered your inner fears and grounded yourself in your core principles so you can confidently lead your team across the river? Think about it. The territory is waiting for you.